just 1 week left of school, which means I am studying for exams and getting ready for the end of the semester. Studying for exams is never really fun. However, I've noticed at Rhodes, I actually don't mind so much because I know that they're going to test me on things that are actually relevant. It's not like when I was in university and I remember they would test me on these tiny obscure details that were mentioned in passing in a lecture or hidden somewhere in the textbook that we were somehow expected to find and regurgitate for this exam. It is not like that at all at Rhodes. They tell you what to study, they tell you why to study it, and when you practice those things all semester, and then you are actually tested on them at the end of the semester. It almost makes too much sense. And that is one of the things that I really love about this school, and so it got me thinking about some of my other favorite things. And so in this video, I am going to tell you about my 10 favorite things about Rhodes. Number 1, they test you on things that you actually need to know. Next week coming, we have a short written exam, and then we also have a verbal exam in which we're going to have a fake client in front of us who's just going to ask us about different types of therapy and what they mean and how they work and what would be best in which situation, which is actually a real life scenario that could happen all the time as a counselor. So things that we're actually going to use in our practice are the things that they are testing us on. What a novel idea. Number 2, you do not have to check your personal life at the door. Every other place that I have worked or been to school, one of the main rules is leave your personal life at home. Don't bring that into this space. You must be professional and pretend like nothing else is going on in your life. It's actually incredibly unrealistic. At Rhodes, it is the complete opposite. Whatever is going on for you and how you are handling it is welcome in the classroom. It's actually what we want to hear about. So you get to show up as your authentic self every single day, regardless of what's going on for you. Number 3, no simulations here. At Rhodes, you get real clients who bring real things to you that they are dealing with and they actually need help with, or they actually need empathy and space for. So it is a much more practical setup for us going into the field because we have realistic expectations of what clients are going to be like in front of us. Which brings me to number 4. I get to be a client because in order for other people to practice their skills, I need to be a client half of the time. I have talked before about how much I love being a client, and it was one of the main things that really drew me to this school. I get to work on myself. Rhodes is like, buy one, get one free. You buy a 1.5 years of education and you get a 1.5 years of therapy. Not a bad deal. Number 5, your insecurities are normalized. Insecurities are one of those things where we know that everyone has them and just nobody wants to talk about them. And one of the best things we can do is be vulnerable because then we'll connect with people. But in practice, that's incredibly tough because you don't know who else is willing to do that with you. At Rhodes, the theory of vulnerability becomes a reality. Everybody is there being vulnerable, sharing their insecurities. And the more I hear other people's insecurities, the more I realize that my insecurities are pretty much the same as everybody else's insecurities, which makes me feel less insecure about my insecurities and therefore more secure as a person. It's really cool. Number 6, arts and crafts is a regular occurrence. I have talked about this before and I absolutely love it. Number 7, show and tell is also a regular occurrence. Any art project that we do or written assignment, we have the opportunity to share it with the rest of the class, which in itself creates a new window of understanding. Number 8, you change classes every semester. Every 3 months, you get a new group of people to work with. This is great because you have a whole new group of people to listen to what's going on for you and give them their perspectives on your behaviors and your decisions in your past. And then you also get a whole new group of people to sort of analyze and try to understand and use your skills on. Number 9, it is experiential learning. This means that instead of sitting there for a 4-hour lecture on theory and technique, there is a small lesson and then what is taught is put right into practice. We get to watch our instructors do it. We get to watch our fellow students do it. We get to try to do it, and then we get to try to do it again. So sometimes this can be frustrating because I don't actually know what I'm learning, or I feel like I'm not picking it up, or that I don't understand. And then, of course, a week or 2 weeks or 3 months or sometimes 6 months later, all of a sudden I'll be using these skills very effortlessly, and I'll think, oh, I think I've got it. And the next thing you know, you're going to be dropping psychoeducation on penis envy like Freud. I'm just kidding. Penis envy doesn't exist. Number 10, and my all-time favorite thing, is the connections that you form with your classmates. When you spend almost every day, all day together, listening to one another's stories and about their past and about their families and about what's going on for them today and where they hope to be and what they're afraid of, it's almost impossible to not form a huge amount of mutual respect and love for one another. So it feels like a family when you're at school. Except for it's a family that is really good at communicating and welcomes the healthy expression of emotions and has an unconditional amount of empathy and space for all of the other members of that family. So really, it's not like the majority of families that are out there. In fact, it's kind of like the anti-family. Instead of scarring you for life, we heal you for the future. That is all I have for you today for a little lesson with a touch of insight. If you have more questions about Rhodes, feel free to message me on Facebook, or you can contact the school. The information is down below. I only have one more week, one more video before the end of 2017. Crazy? And I'll bring that to you next week.